All right, guys, welcome back. We are clocking out and diving right in. Today's episode is all about protecting your peace without apologizing, setting and maintaining boundaries confidently without guilt or explanation, honestly. It's a topic that I'm really excited about, and I want to start it with a couple questions just to start getting your brains marinating. Have you ever felt drained because you've said yes when you genuinely and wholeheartedly wanted to say no, or found yourself apologizing for choosing your peace or choosing yourself? And I'm sure that the answer to both of those questions were yes.
Yeah, even if it's picking up a shift from someone, you don't want to do it, but you do it.
We do it anyway, right? And that's what today's episode is all about, is learning to be unapologetically yourself, right?
Yeah.
Choosing yourself and really maintaining boundaries. I will say that I truly believe that boundary setting is such a hot take right now.
Yeah, it's like,
I feel like
it's a good and a bad thing the way
it's the
people
same
do
way that like narcissist is a hot topic, right? Or love bombing.
Yep.
Or what's that other one that's like love bombing, but I can't remember the word. But they're really hot topics, I feel like, partially because I feel like growth and self-awareness is very much something that people are really talking about right now. And these are topics that genuinely come up with growth, right?
Yeah.
But we want to kind of dive into it in a way where it's more focused on ourselves, our mental health, and I genuinely have opinions on why us as women genuinely say sorry, apologize, or are really hard at setting boundaries.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
I think so.
To dive in? Okay. So I genuinely believe that society has put a little bit of a construct on women and how we should show up and how we should be when it comes to like as nurturers, right?
I can definitely see the nurture part.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Or we're supposed to be like more quiet, reserved, like traditionally, right?
Even if you think of like, because like, for instance, when I was in a sorority, the way sororities are expected to be compared to how frats are expected to be, it's like we're held up to the same standards by this university. Why are they allowed to act out like this? And we're gotta be like pure,
poised, quiet, reserved. Yep. And it honestly is something that I feel like without even realizing we're kind of molded into, right? Or even as simple as like, I come from like a very traditional Latin family, right? Like boundaries are not talked about. Like there are no boundaries, right? Like nothing's left off the table. Everyone talks about everything. If there is a event on Sunday, it is an obligation.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like for a very long time, I personally really struggled with the fear of setting boundaries, and the fear of saying no. Like I remember the first time I heard no is a sentence, like a full sentence on its own. I just about had a conniption. I was like, in what world? Like, and I can say that, like I can say no, because there's always this guilt wrapped around saying no to someone,
even
right?
if someone's like, you can say no. Yeah, okay.
You want me to like, if I could say no, why are you saying it like that? Like, or if you know that I'm going to say no, why are you asking?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you asking? That one also drives me crazy. I'll get into that one later. Another reason I think that boundaries are so hard to set is because I feel like sometimes when you go to set boundaries, people feel like it's you rejecting them or you putting them at like an arm's distance or setting this kind of like, no, I don't want you. When I don't really think that that's always the case.
Yeah, I think people are very sensitive.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
To the max. And it's not that deep.
No,
like,
we live in a very sensitive society, a very sensitive world. All beings are sensitive, men, women, and everyone in between. I don't think there's ever at least in the world we live in now, an easy way for you to choose yourself without someone getting upset.
No, like if I say no, it's not because I don't like you enough to help you with it. It's because I physically don't, I can't mentally.
I don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Like I do not have the ability to take on what I have to take on and what you're expecting me to take on. 100%.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there's also this guilt of if I say no,
what's the consequences? Yeah.
What's the consequence? Are they going to still be my friend? Are they going to look at me differently? Are they going to be upset? Even as simple as for me when I started my business, right? If someone reached out to me when I first started on my own, my hours were Monday through Saturday. Let's say I would work like 9 to 6, 9 to 7. If someone messaged me outside of my hours of operation, I could not fathom
not replying,
not saying no to someone. If someone was like, hey, can I get my hair done on a Sunday at 10 p.m.? I don't work on Sundays. I don't work at 10 p.m., but I sure as hell said yes. Because the fear of them not wanting to book me another day, or the idea of them like not coming, back to me because I said no to them, was so real. And I could not get over that. And that in turn had me set really bad boundaries with clients when I first started my business. Like I had zero boundaries.
And I feel like you having that fear of clients like not booking with you is the same as someone who may be working under someone. They have the fear of, if I say no to my manager asking me to do this, are they going to take it as I don't want to work? I don't want a promotion. I don't want to, I'm not in it.
Yeah.
And so they'll just say yes. And then it turns into them working 5 jobs under the one job title that they have. And now it's just expected for them to do those things without any compensation.
100%.
So that was really hard for me, especially in the role that I'm in now, like within corporate, because I was like, wow, I made it to corporate right like before I graduated college. So happy I'm able to do this and get this opportunity. And then anything I was asked to like help with or do, I was like, yeah, sure. And then it was, how am I handling everything? And then it turned into, I'm sorry, I don't have the bandwidth to do that. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, luckily for me and my team, like it is okay for me to say that. But there are sensitive managers out there that are like, well, screw you. Like, I'm your manager. Like, I'm asking you to do this. No should be an option.
Oh, absolutely. With everything. Even as like simple as like with family.
Yeah.
Like setting boundaries with family is one of the scariest and intimidating things I think ever to be, or even to say no to something. Yeah. Because like for me, I don't want my family to ever think that I don't want to be around them or that I don't want to spend time with them. But sometimes you don't have the mental capacity to be around people. At least for me, like I am in a people-facing job. I'm talking all day. Outside of my job, I'm doing this, So there's times where like I don't have the emotional or mental capacity to like be around people. And sometimes I have to say no to like being around my family. And they love me endlessly and they don't care. But when I have to say no to something, I literally am like,
yeah, it's a lot.
Because there's this fear of like,
how are they going to take it?
Yeah. Are they going to be upset? Are they going to be hurt? Like they think I don't want to spend time with them, but that's not the case at all. And honestly, me saying no and setting that boundary sometimes is for my own mental peace, my own mental clarity, or just the fact that like homegirl needs a break, And
you don't have to like explain it.
No.
You say no.
No.
And I always say, like, if a friend asks me, how do I like call out of work? How do I say no? I don't want to go to your birthday thing. And then they have like this long ass message typed out. And I'm like, that makes you look wrong. Like, why
Guilty.
are you giving all of this information? Yeah. I'm really sorry. I can't go. I'll make it up to you and take you out to dinner another time. Yeah. That's all that needs to be said.
It's because we're people pleasers at our core.
Yeah.
I like to think that I am a people pleaser in recovery. I'm not healed yet. by any means. I know that face said it all, but it is the people pleaser in us, right? Like when I first started, right, working or like taking clients by myself, I remember that I overbooked myself one time really bad, and I worked 2 weeks straight, literally 14 days, and I was seeing like 5 to 6 clients a day. I was shot, dead. And I woke up one morning and I looked at my husband. I was like, I physically cannot go to work. He said, okay, cancel your day. And I was like,
how? What? In what world?
How do I do that? And he was like, just message your clients and tell them, hey, listen, I'm not going to be in the salon today. We have to reschedule. I was like, okay. Hey, so I'm not going to be in the salon today because I woke up and I wasn't feeling well. And don't worry, next time I'll have you come in and I will add a conditioning treatment and I start writing this whole message, right? And he looked at me and he was like, that's way too much. He's like, you sound so guilty. You are like talking yourself in circles. All you have to say is, hey, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I'm not going to be in the salon today. I can reschedule you for this day. Let me know if it works.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. I think I still sent that long-winded message. And I think I sent it to like 2 or 3 clients. And then after that, I was like, maybe I shouldn't. But it was really hard. Like the guilt of having to be like, I cannot do this. I choose myself and like, I need a day.
It's a mindset shift that you have to train.
Oh my God. Yeah. I definitely think that is like a muscle that needs to be trained. Yeah. 100%.
Even now that like originally when I started social media management, I was kind of just doing like, okay, let's talk it out. What do you need? Okay, here's your monthly like price. Great. Let's go with it. And because things weren't priced out like inventory wise and like itemized receipt wise, I was doing a lot more things that were under that job description, which is fine. Like I wanted to grow with them and help. However, now that I've like taken a step back, like bringing on more clients, I had to. So breaking out each thing into pricing, I'll even notice where I'm like, I just want to edit all these videos so they have stuff to push out. And then I'm like, they're not paying me for the editing though. Yeah. So like, I can't. I have to save that energy and that time to do it for people that are paying me out.
It's that alone, saving your energy. Yeah. Like, I think that's finally when I became good at setting boundaries is when I realized that my boundaries were what were going to protect me.
And feed into other things, nurture other things.
Or just be able to like feed into like my like brain resting, right? Like I used to think of boundaries as walls, like walls that were being built up. Like it was a fortress, like don't come anywhere near me. I have boundaries. When like now I look at boundaries as like, I am my little house and my boundaries are like windows and doors and they can open, they can close.
You're pushing them. You're not
I'm
stuck.
Setting them to myself. Yep. They flow, they ebb. Like there is no like brick, construct that's like holding me in. But for a long time, that's how I looked at it before I realized like, wait, saying no protects my mental health. Like saying, hey, this is where my line is drawn and I'm not willing to budge protects my mental health.
Yeah.
And honestly, for a little bit there, I had to like kind of train myself to say no. Like I actually had to like understand that saying no did not mean I was saying no to the person as a whole and that I wasn't hurting them by saying no. If anything, I was protecting them and myself. Yeah. Because I was going to show up better whenever it was that I could do what I needed to do. And honestly, every time I have set boundaries or I have said no, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes I've been questioned when I say no, right? That's a little shocking. I'm not going to lie. Have you been questioned before when you say no?
Yeah. They're like, are you sure?
No, Marley, like I've dead ass been, why?
Oh, the why are you saying no? Me. The why kills me.
Now I'm at the point in my life where if someone's like, wait, why? Why are you saying no? I'll be like, honestly, listen, I cannot do this because I do not have the energy or the ability to be my best self. If you want me to do it, I'll do it. I'm going to show up half-assed. I'm not going to be what you want me to be. And then you're not going to be happy and I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And then after I say something like that, they're like, oh, it's okay. We're good.
Or they're just like, I'm never asking you to do anything again. All sensitive.
No, honestly, I haven't gotten that yet. Thank God. I don't know how I would react to that. I think that I would like crumble and be like, just kidding. We can do it.
That's my issue. It's like the second I say no and then get a question back, I'm like, okay, yeah, we could do it because it's like.
Because we're people pleasers.
Yeah. It's like the guilt now that I said
no. It's so
no.
bad. It's honestly, It is so, excuse my French, fucked up that society has literally wired us as women to feel like we have to constantly say yes, or that we can't be a good person and a nurturer without like setting boundaries. Because if you had a male boss, right, that said no and was like very, no one would question him. It would be like, okay, yeah, like
he's
that's
being stern.
Right. But if I say no and I'm at a top
You're
level, I'm a
bitch.
bitch. That fucking bitch. I cannot believe that fucking Chrissy said no. How dare she? She's so nasty. But if Joe Schmo down the street,
must be her time.
she's on her period. You know what? Yes, I fucking am on my period, and it's still a no.
Or not having sex.
Yeah, it's like, always one of, oh my God, literally like that bitch needs to get laid.
Yeah.
No, Jerry, I just don't want to fucking do what you're telling me to do, damn it.
Yeah.
But it's literally like that. Like I distinctively remember being in a group of friends, okay? And I had a friend who was bitching and complaining about his boss, right? And the fact that she had really strict boundaries on like her work-life balance, right? And he was used to his old boss who did whatever, like he would do whatever and however it is that this guy needed, right? And he's talking and he's bitching about her and he's like, I just don't understand why she always says no, da 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 da. And I looked at him and I said, I think this is a problem much deeper than her just saying no. And he was like, what? I was like, I just don't think that that you're used to a woman setting boundaries and being like very like stern in her ways. And when I said that, he kind of just like looked at me. And I was like, I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying this in a like, take this moment to self-reflect.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's the fact that maybe you're not used to a woman being so sure and so like assertive in what it is that she wants? And he just like kind of looked at me and he waited a little bit. I was like, you don't need to answer now. And then like we were all hanging out and like maybe an hour or two later, he came up to me. He was like, you know what? That was really fucking humbling. And I was like, why? And he goes, I really do think it's the fact that I've never, first of all, wild. He's never had a woman boss before. He's never had a woman
above. How long
ago
was that?
I think this was maybe a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Never had a woman that was a boss above him.
I feel like it depends on the industry for sure.
We're talking corporate America.
That's crazy because like
we're talking corporate.
Been women my whole time.
I feel like.
But that's why I'm like, maybe it's the industry because like
the industry,
property management.
I was just about to say the industry you're in. Yeah. But no, the industry he's in is definitely more male, 100% more male populated. But it was crazy because as soon as I said that, he like took a step back and he was like, oh my God, it's the fact that I've never had a woman in a power of authority. Then also on top of it, her setting like really strict boundaries.
It's the exact same thing though when like a guy never gets no from a girl to
and
go
then
out on
freaks
a date.
The fuck out.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video of that one guy that's like going all over TikTok?
No, it hasn't made.
Oh my God. If you guys have seen this video, please comment. So there's this guy that like, they're coming home from a date, right? Her Ring camera caught it.
Oh gosh.
Okay. And I guess they like went on a date and the date went well, but like she was just tired. And he was like, so can I come in? We do like a nightcap. We can like watch a show.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, right. Nightcap.
Let's put on Out of Office podcast.
We can
have
listen.
some drinks.
But so yeah, he's like wanting to come in for a nightcap. And she was like, no, like, I'm really tired. I'm so sorry. Like I had such a good time on this date, but I'm just like, I'm not up for it. And he was like, you sure? He's like, some of my friends think that I'm like Schmidt from like New Girl. Like I have that quirky personality. Like you want to go in and watch some New Girl? And she was like, no, like I'm really good. So he's like, okay, like have a good night. She closes the door. Okay.
Oh no.
And this guy has a full-blown mentee bee, like crashes out. He's like, I paid for dinner. How are you not going to let me in? I am a good guy. I should have come in. And then, of course, like everyone in the comments is like, good guy. Like you couldn't even handle a woman telling you no.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
I see it with that. And I see it with like, it like goes one of two ways. It's either they get yes, then they get no and it's a breakdown.
Yeah.
Or it's someone who just loves the chase. And then the second they get a yes, they're like, fuck this, I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like the polar opposites.
I think that the way that men think is absolutely insane to me and I will never understand it.
I've seen women think that way too, though. I've seen girls get...
Oh, yeah. The chase part, yes. Yes.
And the no. And then like,
really?
yeah. Mhm.
I haven't met so many women that like that feel that way.
Yeah. I've met quite a few. And they'll be like so distraught over like a breakup or a fallout with someone they're talking to. And I'm like, you weren't even interested in them. Like, why does it matter? And it's because they called it off and not the girl calling it off. And it's like one of the only times that and I'm like, you didn't even want this to work out. Like, why does it matter? Why is it that
having
deep?
the last word, bitch?
Yeah, it's so insane that no can trigger someone that much, whether they want it or not. Like,
I think that no is so much more powerful of a word than we give it credit for. It is such a powerful word. It is like, I feel like, what is it? Like being a yes man, right? Is like a thing. I would hate to be known as a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I feel like that is you giving away your power.
Yeah.
Giving away, like, you know what I mean? Like you're just so easy to like accommodate and like bend and move that like at that point, like what value do you have?
Nothing.
Is how I feel.
You offer everything to everyone. Like
yeah. Like you have to be a little more like reserved and like closed off. But also too, that's me just like genuinely believing in like me protecting my energy and like my mental like health at all costs. Like I will not allow anything to come between me and my mental health. Sometimes it takes a little bit for me to realize it, right? Like there have been instances, and I know that you know of like one specifically where like I haven't set a boundary, or like I didn't know how to set a boundary. And I kind of let it like fester and go until it gets to a point where like it
lives rent free.
I'm not joking, guys. Like it lives rent free in my life. Okay. In my head. And when something bothers me, my husband, my mother, and my sisters can testify. Okay. I literally shut down.
Yeah. Chrissy went MIA on me a few times and I'm like, oh, something's going on.
Yeah. Just because like, I'm really good at setting my boundaries with certain things, right? Really good at being able to be like, hey, this is like my domain, right? When my boundaries are crossed or they're not respected or they're not acknowledged, I have a hard time with that. Where like, I don't know how to like articulate it. Because my way of thinking is like, I would know when someone's boundary is being crossed. Like if I've crossed someone's boundary, I am very well aware of when I'm like right on the line, right? So when someone does it to me, I'm like,
did you not realize?
Are we high? Do you see me? You know what I mean? So then it's the awkward, like, how do I bring this up? Like, how do I say this?
Sounding sensitive.
Without sounding like a bitch and making sure that like I'm like being respectful, you know? So it's really hard. So sometimes I shut down until like I get to a point where like I've chewed and marinated on it, or I'm eventually called out.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. But I'm still growing. You know what I mean? Like I said before, I'm like a recovering people pleaser. So like the only reason I shut down is because I don't want to hurt someone.
Well, you're like, you're trained, whether it's by someone else or yourself, to be the yes person for at least 20 years of your life until you're starting to say no. So then it's like, how do you train that muscle so quick? You can't. Like, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it takes time. But there are some people that I know, like in my life, or people that I've met that are so strong at their boundaries and so strong at like holding their boundaries.
But sometimes it's embarrassing.
Honestly, the people in my circle or the people that I know, I genuinely respect for it because they're so good at it. I'm trying to think now.
I've had one scenario
I don't think I have.
that I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And it's like, I did this, like it should be this way. And it's like, you're flipping out because
I think there's a difference between setting a boundary and then playing like the name game.
Yeah.
Right. I think that once you get to the point where you're playing the name game, babe, you never set your boundary.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to set a boundary when it's too late. There's a difference, right? I think that the people I'm talking about is like, I meet them and like, as our conversation is flowing, boundary. boundary. Like, no, that doesn't work for me. And I'm like, wow. Like I'm in awe of people like that because there's such a way that they like articulate themselves that I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. But the person that like crashes out after, I have experienced that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, how was I supposed to know that like that was a no? You never told me that. Like, you didn't tell me that you didn't want to do this. You said you did. How did we get here?
But that's all about honesty. Like people just aren't honest from the bat, and then they expect you to like read between the lines and sense stuff. And it's like, I can't read your mind.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I feel bad for that like person. A little part of me does. Because I used to be that person. Communication's hard.
It is hard, especially if you don't grow up.
If you don't grow up in a
open communicated, like
like I don't even know if that's like it, because like I grew up in a very, my family was so good about like being like open about communication
within the circle or like with people outside too, because it depends. Like if you see your parents like really open and honest with you, but they are more closed off with like people on the outside, maybe it's trust issues or anything.
No, my parents are so
just open.
Yeah. And
I don't know why then.
I don't know. I think it's me as a person.
Yeah.
It's a me thing because of my two sisters, so there's three of us. Of the three of us, two of my sisters really good at setting boundaries.
Okay.
So good at setting boundaries. My little sister, oh my God, so good at setting boundaries. And she's had to set boundaries in situations that don't even involve just our family, where I genuinely commend her. I think she's an incredible woman. My other sister has children now. So she has to set boundaries for her and her children, right? And they do it with no apology. I, on the other hand, and they're really great communicators. Like my sisters, if they feel something, if they think something, they say it. Like no problem. Where I'm the kind of person where if something hurts me,
you have to think about how you're going to say it.
You know what it is? I have a serious thought process that goes through.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the kind of person where if I do something and I hurt someone, I genuinely know in the moment if something hurt someone or something affected someone. I can read it right off the bat, right? Not that I'm the kind of person that's intentionally going to hurt someone, but if I say something and I can tell like.
You're very self-aware.
Very self-aware. Yeah. So I can tell if something I said doesn't jive with someone. I will immediately be like, hey, are we good? Is what I said affecting you to a point that we need to talk about it, right? On the flip side, if someone does something to me, they overstep a boundary or they hurt me or they say something that's kind of like, my way of thinking is, why would I bring it up to you if you're not self-aware enough to understand how that hurt me, right? Because if I bring it up, are you even going to be self-aware enough to see it from the side that I'm bringing it up from? Or are you just going to get offended?
I think it depends on the person. I feel like some people just aren't sensitive, so they say things and they don't realize how it could be misinterpreted or.
But then that person that's not sensitive, right? And that isn't going to be aware of how they said it. When you bring it up to them, because they're not a sensitive person, they're not going to see it from that way anyway.
I think like for me, I'm not a sensitive person. So I'll say things, and I've definitely said things that pissed off roommates, friends, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But then they come to me and they're like, X, Y, and Z, this is how I feel. And I overthink things all the time. So then I'm able to like overthink that and see how they took it that way.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on like how the person is overall, but definitely depends on how sensitive they are. Because if they're not sensitive,
I could see that.
They could come off super cold and say something and it like is not okay.
Yeah.
But they don't know it's not okay.
Probably not. But then at that point, I just sit on it. And then I'll be like, all right, this really hurt me. It affected me. I'll sit on it. I'm also good at like, if I can sit on it and marinate on it, I'm not going to let it like draw a wedge between us. But my sisters have called me out on it. Where like, if I have set a boundary or I've done something, or let's say I say no and I get pushback, right? I'll vent to my sisters as one does. And my sisters will be like, well, you need to tell that person this, this, and this. And like, how dare they say this, this, and this? And I'll just sit there listening to them. And I'm like, I don't know how you want me to do this.
Yeah.
Not so long ago, my little sister, I had a little bit of a tiff with someone in my family. And it wasn't even a tiff. It was genuinely like someone said something that hurt me. I didn't feel the need to bring it up because I was like, it is what it is. It's not a big deal. That person didn't mean it this way, but it hurt me.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my sisters and I'm telling my sisters, just like venting, right? Like, hey, this is what was said. Really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but whatever. My little sister decided that that was not okay. And she dead ass went to the person and was like, you said this, this, and this. And even though you don't see it this way, it genuinely was rude and nasty. And you got to do something about it because she's not going to say something because she doesn't think it's important, but I think it's important. And then that person reached out to me and I was like,
what do I say now? I didn't have time to prep my notes.
Literally, like I didn't have time to think about this. Like, why am I getting this message? So I sent a group chat to my sisters, right? Because I didn't know what sister it was that said it.
Oh.
The person just said, hey, I'm sorry I said that. They didn't even say my sister. They just said, hey, I'm so sorry that I said this. Did not mean for it to come out that way. Love you. And I was like, that fucking bitch. Which one was it? So I texted both my sisters and I was like, I get it. I respect it. But what the fuck? And then my little sister was like, it was me. I did it. You weren't going to advocate for yourself. So I advocated for you. It's not that fucking deep. It needed to be addressed. You weren't going to do it. I did it. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And at first I literally read her message and I was like, huh. But then I was like, fuck. Like if she wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have done it. And then it would have been like unsaid and unhandled.
But that person, I guess, was not sensitive. And then it was brought to their attention.
Oh no, that person's extremely sensitive.
Oh, well then.
They're extremely sensitive. But they were doing what they were doing from a good place. So it wasn't like they were doing it from a bad place. But my sister was like, no, like there was a boundary that was crossed that should have never been said. This is what needs to be done. And afterwards, I just kind of sat there and was like, damn, okay. Wow. Like that was really powerful. So at times I think I'm really good at setting boundaries. And other times I'm called out and told I'm not. Again, growth. But it's one of those things that if I would have done it for myself, I probably would have been beating myself up. I would have thought I was the most awful person in the world. When in reality, it's not that deep.
I feel like when sometimes you're good with it and sometimes you're not, it depends on who it is that it involves, like how comfortable you are. And I feel like it also has a lot to do with what's going on in your life. Like, do you feel great about your life where you have the energy to like advocate for yourself right now? Or is it like, I don't have time to deal with this right now. Let me just brush it off.
Yeah. 100%. I could not agree with that more because the times that I feel like I have not advocated for myself and I've been called out on it are moments of that. Moments where there's too much going on and I don't have the bandwidth to deal with it.
I've had my fair share of moments like that. And like people will be like, how have you not brought it up to them? How have you not said it's not
that deep. Yeah.
It's gonna be back and forth. Like I'd much rather just leave it as is. It pissed me off, whatever.
That's essentially what I mean when I think that I reflect on it and I'm like, is that person gonna be receptive?
No. So then I'm not gonna
If that person's not gonna be receptive, why am I gonna bring it up? I'm aware of what happened. I now see that boundaries are not respected. You do not understand where I'm coming from. And now moving forward, I'll make sure if that situation ever comes up where you and I are in the same situation and that boundary is there, I'm probably going to call you out before you even have the chance to cross it.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, don't forget, but 100% that's what it is.
I've started to
not having the mental capacity.
And I had that like recently with something and it wasn't a big deal at all. And like the person I was venting to, they were like, just say something. And if they react to it, whatever, drop it. Great. Like, listen, I said what I said. We don't need to go around. Like, just needed to put it out there for myself. And if they agree to it and then don't like change their ways with it, then like that tells you something too. But at least just say something and then just let it be if you don't have the bandwidth.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to move with.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like when it comes to setting boundaries and saying no,
Mhm.
it's all about moving with grace,
Yep.
right? Giving yourself the grace and the ability to move with it however it feels most fit for you,
Yes.
right? Giving yourself time to deal with it when it feels
Mhm.
right for you, right? If you need a day or two, sometimes I think that's best, truthfully.
Mhm.
I think sitting down, letting it marinate, letting it cook.
You don't want to say anything in the heat.
Yeah, like I genuinely believe that. Like saying things in the heat of the moment, never good.
Yeah.
Never good. Because then you say things that you really don't mean and you're speaking
Mhm.
out of pure emotion because you're heightened,
Mhm.
you know? I feel like nothing good comes from
Yeah.
heightened emotion. Are we leaving them with thoughts?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we had some good advice tips, but I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's time for them to reflect.
Now for you guys, you have homework. Basically, what we're leaving you off with is protecting your peace isn't selfish. It is something that's necessary. Choosing yourself and your boundaries
Mhm.
is top priority.
Yeah.
No one is ever going to advocate for you and stand up for you the way that you need to.
Unless you have a little sister.
Unless you have a Lily. Everyone needs a Lily. And my sister Vivi, that bitch is also so freaking, I swear to God, they're like my backbones. But yeah, it's essential to move through life without apology when it comes to standing up for
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Truthfully.
So I guess after listening to this podcast on a Sunday, you're going to go into your work week.
Mhm.
Maybe it's you see your friends weekly on a Wednesday, or you have issues with your work team. Take this week and practice saying no once to whoever it is in whatever scenario it is. Maybe think about, like, before the week starts, what is something worth it for me to say no if
Yeah.
it comes up. But when you say that no, reflect on it and see how you feel after it. So definitely just be prepared to be uncomfortable, but also be prepared to celebrate it too, because it's going to feel good and it's a big step and it's something that's going to change moving forward for you in a very positive way. And we can't wait and hope that you share those boundary wins or maybe struggles that we can then help you with and turn into wins for you.
Yeah.
So we can't wait to hear from you and see you guys next week. Love ya.
Bye.